I know the folks in the room have been looking at me, sort of really, really strangely, wondering why I'm just standing up here. The reason is because at this point in the ceremony, we are now joined by the folks who out in cyberspace are joining us on YouTube. So we'd like to specially welcome our colleagues, family members, and friends who are here to celebrate with the folks in the room at the CMU Long Service Awards function. And we have been hearing so far from the Ramdon Band. Have you been enjoying them? And so we have one more feature for you in the room, and the folks on YouTube are going to be seeing that feature as well. And after that feature, we will go straight into the awards, which are in 3 categories. The Extra Mile Silver Award for service between 10 and 19 years, the Long Haul Gold Award for service between 20 and 29 years, and the Pioneer Platinum Award for service between 30 and 40 years. But just before we get into the awards, we have one more feature for you, and it is to the final set of long service awardees who are going to be sharing their journey at the CMU and their expectations for the future. Please direct your attention to the screen.
My name is Narka Pinnock. I am the facility supervisor at Caribbean Maritime University. My day-to-day duties are ensuring that the campus is clean, especially the classrooms and the offices. I supervise over 30 females, so I do have my hands full.
My name is Mark Broomfield. I am currently the director for the Western Campus, which is Montego Bay.
I'm Ricardo Marriott. I'm the Senior Admissions Officer at the Caribbean Maritime University. I started out from it was SL TOPS through the R-Trust, right? So I applied there. It was the Caribbean Maritime Institute at that point, right? And that was from in 1999. Right? So that's how long I'm here. So that's basically where I'm coming from. So it was through that program, right? Doing an interview, and I was placed in the admissions office. The institution to me, it was small compared to other colleges and universities, right? At that time, it wasn't a lot of staff and students. I think the staff complement was very small and it was mostly male dominated, as well as the students. I think it was about 400 strong students, right? And it was mostly male dominated as well based on the programs that were offering at that time.
When I came here, it was Caribbean Maritime Institute. I came here on the High Trust Learning Program. Originally, I was supposed to only be here for 3 months, but based on my charming personality, I'm here now 18 years after. My first impression, it was a very small university, and actually I become aware of this institute when I was actually offered the job. So honestly, I did not know anything about Caribbean Maritime Institute until I came here and started to do my own research.
I came to this institution in March the 3rd, 1998. I believe at the time it was called Jamaica Maritime Training Institute. I really accompanied a friend who came to apply for a job, and while I was here, I said, hey, why not apply for a part-time job, because I was working at the time at Hart, NTI. And I applied to be an adjunct lecturer at the time, engineering. A spot opened up for a full-time engineering lecturer, so I came on as that. I was surprised. I was surprised and I was impressed. Surprised because I didn't know that the institution existed, because if I had known, probably I would have chosen to come to this institution. Because when I looked at the progression from poverty to prosperity, it seems to be a shorter curve here when you compare institution at the time. So, I was surprised when I came beyond the swamp and the bushes and past a little canoe that was out at the front. And I said, what? You know, this place is here. And then, you know, coming on campus and seeing the space, it was small, but it was neat. You know, I mean, I saw a certain level of discipline and the different kind of vibe.
Big achievement is actually being a mom and actually being the first person to graduate from university for my mom. So I started off as a art trainee, right? Receptionist. Then I moved from being a library assistant to actually being a cashier. Then I moved from being a cashier to being an accounting assistant. From there, I become the top shop manager and now the facility supervisor.
So my biggest achievement since I'm at the CMU is actually moving through the various positions, because I started here as a clerical assistant. Then I move on to customer service care representative, and then after to admissions officer, and then senior admissions officer presently. And basically we're doing a restructure now, so I hope to get a bigger portfolio. My memorable moment, most memorable moment since I'm at the CMU is actually when we were moving from CMI, right, to the university. It was good indeed, knowing that it was a milestone for us, knowing where we are coming from and where we are at that moment.
Coming from where I came from, belly of poverty, both rural and urban, you know, I've always had a desire to reach, to see what my life would be if I achieved the things that many considered unachievable. I grew from coming here with a diploma to having a PhD to being awarded an associate professor. So academically, I would say the institution facilitated my educational growth.
Very proud to work at CMU, and I see it day to day when I'm on the road. Most likely when I'm in the CMU shirt, you know, and persons ask, where's this institution? I heard about this institution. I want to come to this institution, right? I feel, you know, very proud to know that, I mean, you know, where I work, persons actually want to study.
I am proud of working here because when I started in 2003, it was a very, as I said, it was a very small university. Like, I'm almost sure that we had like probably like 50 something students. Now, we have grown to over 1,000 students and we have several different campuses. So, and I'm proud to know that I'm actually a part of that achievement. My vision for the next 40 years, for the university to grow more and to invest more in the staff.
So my vision for the CMU for the next 40 years is to become the #1 university in the world.
Congratulations again, Ms. Pinnock, Dr. Broomfield, and Mr. Marriott, please stand. And I want to thank all of my colleagues who helped us to make these videos. We thought it was really, really important to tell our story through our eyes. And today, we're going to be continuing to celebrate the other awardees, beginning with the Extra Mile Silver Award. And to present those awards, recognition for years of service between 10 and 19 years, I'd like to invite to the podium Lieutenant Commander Michael Rodriguez. Please make him welcome. And our first awardee, Dr. Karen Adair, 10 years of service. to the Caribbean Maritime University. Professor Thank you. Professor Ibrahim Ajaguna. Mrs. Ruth Banks Jeffrey. Lady in red. Lorraine Barrett. Snavlet Bishop. There are a couple of people who pray at a meeting at the Caribbean Maritime University, you know. Miss Bishop is one of them. We need the blessings. Shivani Butler. Ira Byfield. 18 years of service. It's hard to get anywhere without our next awardee. It's Mr. Lincoln Fanel. Mr. Fanel. Marshall E. Foster. 13 years of service. She also started when she was a teenager. Simone Hears. Also 13 years. Lucky 13. No, you might not know that the next person no longer works at the Caribbean Maritime University, because we see him a lot. Mr. Nickel in a rarity. And Nickel has a pose, you know. Nickel has a pose. We need this for the gram. Sir Damian Johnson, 11 years of service. Mr. Kevin Johnson, whose award will be collected by Norke Pinnock. So we're going to say Norkia twice because of your charming personality. Thank you. Mr. Mark Johnson, 14 years of service. Round of applause, please. Please keep the applause going. As I think Mrs. Smith said, is next 40 years, or maybe next 5 years. So we have to get the most out of that this moment. Use up the applause, folks. Use it up. Kelleen Johnson Davis. And thank you so much, Commander Rodriguez. Thank you. To present the next category of awards, well, to continue to present in this category of awards, we'd like to welcome the president to the stage, Professor Evan Dugan. And our first awardee in this category is, well, as we continue rather, is Mr. Shane Kentish. Dapper. Stacey-Ann Lalou. Ten years of service. Patricia Lamont. "11 years of service. Tamika Livermore. 10 years of service. Guy McFarlane, 14 years of service. Thank you. Dwayne McKay, 11 years of service. Carleen Mackinson, 13 years of service. Dr. Aaron McLean. I like the tie, Doc. Mr. McLean, 12 years of service. We saw him in one of the videos earlier, Mr. Colin Lyons. So it's 2 stints at the Caribbean Maritime University, Mr. Lyons. Helped build the road. Helped form the Maritime Training Center. And helped do what, Prof? And help build the people. Yeah. Thank you. Beverly Mellis Dennis. Beverly. 17 years of service. Kahuna Miller. Dr. Miller, I think the last time I read about him, he was coming back from the World Maritime University. Dr. Miller. And Mr. Trevor Miller, 15 years of service. So I put 2 X's on this stage. This is my fault. I'm claiming it. Thank you very much, Mr. Miller. Thank you very much, Professor Dogan. Thank you, sir. to present to continue this category of awards, we'd like to invite Professor Noel Brown to the podium. And first, Mr. Warrell Morrison, 19 years of service. For 18 years of service to the CMU, next, Mr. Hartnell Murphy. Another 18-year record by Mr. Lawrence Nolte. Mr. Nolte. Captain Devron Newman. Two stints at the CMU as well. So it said on the microphone, Weightlifting Association of Jamaica. We have some troublemakers in the crowd. All right, so Mr. Christopher Nurse. Mr. Nurse. Philippa Osborne Butler. Dancing Queen. Nurse Kwana Porter White. "14 years of service." Francisco Reed, 11 years of service. I'm gonna need a borrows off that suit, you know, I love it. Very nice. Melissa Smith, 10 years of service. Ten years of service, a decade. Ensley Smith, 14 years of service. Next awardee is one of the biggest troublemakers in the room this afternoon, you know. Can we guess? All right, Yvette Smith Johnson, 14 years of service. I'm sorry, put some respect on her name. That's Dr. Yvette Smith Johnson. I call him Mr. Fix-It. Carlton Spencer, 14 years of service. All right, so we have to navigate the next one very carefully because I think the person who is spent so much time serving that she's serving right now has to stop what she's doing, go around the table. Tisha Walker Brown, 14 years of service. And the final awardee in this category, present today, Georgia Wilson. Thank you very much, Professor Brown. And to present the last set of awards, first in the Long Haul Gold Award category, and then the Pioneer Platinum Award, I'd like to welcome to the stage Dr. Tanisha Ingleton, Vice President of Administration and University Registrar. So these are persons who've served the JMTI, the JMI, the CMI, and the CMU for between 20 to 29 years. But we can safely say the CMU. And I want to begin with Dr. Mark Broomfield. "24 years of service. For 26 years of service to the CMU, Milton Cassie. For 26 years of service to the CMU, Mr. Leslie Heron. Mr. Heron, is the room safe? Mr. Heron, is the room safe? Because Mr. Heron doesn't pass the safety test, you know, we have a problem. For 29 years of service to the CMU, Miss Yvonne James. I think this was perhaps one of the most wonderful parts of the videos that we saw earlier. Miss James. 29 years. "21 years of service to the CMU, Mr. Ricardo Marriott. I know Mr. Marriott is collecting his award from Dr. Ingleton, and I think he asked for something specific in the video. For 26 years of service to the CMU, Mr. Derek McLennan. For 21 years of service, Mr. Oswald Morrison. You know, next awardee, we're seeing her for the second time because of her. Please welcome Norkia Pinnock for 20 years of service to the Caribbean Maritime University. Mr. Toussaint Sims. Toussaint, I'm so sorry, Toussaint Sims. French, Toussaint. For 29 years of service to the CMU. For 26 years of service to the CMU, Terry Taylor. Foundation next, 21 years of service to the CMU, Keisha Walker. You say that's what I would do. I agree with you. Soak it up. Soak it up, you deserve it. For 24 years of service to the CMU and the person who helped organize this committee, Mrs. Selma Williams. And our next and final awardee for service, the Pioneer Platinum Award. That's for service between 30, I'm so sorry, 29 years, I missed one. Before we get to 30 years, 29 years, Aldith Williams. And so the final awardee this afternoon for 31 years of service to the CMU Foundation. Please stand and make her welcome, Miss Lesline Johnson Morgan, Lady in Blue. Thank you so much, Doctor. Yes, thank you, Dr. Ingleton. So yeah, give yourself a round of applause. You know, you know, a world where people are jumping from jobs to jobs, it takes dedication and commitment and drive to keep at it and to keep getting better and better. So I want to, again, a round of applause to all the awardees. Thank you so much for your service to the Caribbean Maritime University. And to move the vote of thanks and bring an end to this part of the celebrations, I'd like to invite forward Professor Ibrahim Adraguna, an awardee this afternoon as well. Professor.
I chose to take this with me. Just before I give the vote of thanks, before he left the room, Rear Admiral Brady gave me a note, and I believe this will interest all of us, but most importantly, Captain Newman. And he said, we concluded a reciprocal agreement with Norway to allow our respective seafarers to work on our ships through an MOU. So that means more opportunities for our cadets. Ladies, either you're receiving an award this evening or not, you are all looking very beautiful. It took me almost 20 minutes before I recognized I was looking at Keisha. And when somebody came up to receive her award, Dr. Lecky Johnson asked me, who is that person? I said, I don't know. But when the person came on the stage, I said, but that is Melissa. You all look so beautiful. It is said that when three people engage in lovemaking, they call it threesome. And when it is two people, they call it twosome. So I'm not going to say this afternoon that you men, you look handsome. I'm not going to say that. But rather, I will use Archibald's word. You all look dapper. Professor Gordon Shirley, in absentia, our president, Professor Evan Dorgan, Rear Admiral, and other council members, colleague vice presidents, awardees, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I was asked to do this in 45 minutes. 45 seconds. But I will try and do it in 1.5 minutes. 3 weeks ago, we celebrated the achievement of some of our outstanding students. And this evening, we are celebrating Long Service Award for you, our staff. This is an incredible afternoon. And it is my pleasure to give the vote of thanks to all those who attended and contributed to the success of this long service award. I am Ibrahim Ajabuna, and I receive an award for 13 years of service to the university. To our guest speaker, Lieutenant Commander Michael Rodriguez, it is said that whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. And whatever standards is set by exemplary act, the whole world pursue. And that is how I am going to describe you this evening, our guest speaker. You spoke about strategic partnership. You spoke about the diamond-back squid research that was established at the university. And I came to know a little about that research that you spoke about, Commander. That history that you gave us, I believe that we need to document it and archive it. I will be talking to you maybe at another time outside of here. Pastor Linton, in fact, when he came around, I said, "Are you leaving?" He said, "No, I couldn't leave before the end." Thank you for starting us off this afternoon, committing all our activities in the hands of the Lord in your prayer. Our awardees, today we openly express that your dedication and hard work has not gone unnoticed. It is your extraordinary service to the university while we are here this evening. Keep up the good work and keep being an example to those who come behind you. Testimonies were given, and I think those testimonies, we should find another event where we will make all members of our staff listen to all those testimonies. To the Random Brothers and the Seed, who serenaded us just beautifully this afternoon, I must say a big thank you. I was told by our Vice President, Administration and University Registrar that there is going to be a party after this vote of thanks. To the Planning Committee, let's give them a round of applause, please. You planned and you executed very, very well. Thank you. Professor Brown was asking earlier on that there are some people that are no longer with us but receiving an award. And I said, yes, this is something that has been implanted since 2019, if I am correct. I remember when the morale was going down and we were at executive management meeting, the idea came up, what can we do to uplift the morale of our staff? And Selma Williams recommended this award, and now it has come to pass. So I want to thank you, Mrs. Williams, and your team for this excellent work. To our cruise shipping and marine tourism students out of the Faculty of Shipping and Logistics, brought in by their lecturer, Mrs. Medina, thank you very much. To the Pegasus Hotel for your wonderful service. I didn't get my red wine, but I presume I will get it after this. To the cameraman, photographer, you did excellently well. Thank you very much. We are truly grateful to all who contributed in making this event a success. And before I say my final thank you, I want to say a big thank you also to Annette Main, Miss Main. She actually drafted this vote of thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, let the party begin. Thank you very much.
Miss Main, we need to have a conversation, because we do think that it is important to read, to play some things on record and to read things into the record. So there are a number of awardees who, for various reasons, were not able to come to this afternoon ceremony, and we do want to ensure that they are recognized and that this ceremony, which is being recorded for posterity and is going to be placed on the World Wide Web, recognizes their service as well to the Caribbean Maritime University. So please, round of applause as I remind you of their names. Ms. Sushana Brown for 13 years of service to the CMU. Carol Campbell, 15 years of service to the CMU. Shanik Coburn Thompson, 10 years of service to the CMU. Paul Douglas, 22 years of service to the CMU. Sir Donovan Francis, 26 years of service to the CMU. Codalee Gordon, 14 years of service to the CMU. Kevin Johnson, 11 years of service to the CMU. Peter McCarthy, the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering and Applied Technology, 14 years of service to the CMU. Karen McKenzie, 13 years of service to the CMU. Etrisha Nunez McDonald, 13 years of service to the CMU. Sir Alan Powell, 14 years of service to the CMU. Sir Julian Robinson, 11 years of service to the CMU. Cornell Samuels, 14 years of service to the CMU. Misha Sutherland Brown, 13 years of service to the CMU. Nicolette Bailey, 11 years of service to the CMU. Captain Johnny Purtell, 14 years of service to the CMU. Mr. Kevin Sr., 16 years of service to the CMU. Kibret Barnaby, 11 years of service to the CMU. Marsha Johnson Nedricks, 13 years of service to the CMU. Maxwell Anderson, 14 years of service to the CMU. Mr. Philip Matthews, 12 years of service to the CMU. Rose Romans, 29 years of service to the CMU. Dr. Violet Wright, 10 years of service to the CMU. And Vivine Brown, 11 years of service to the CMU. Congratulations to those awardees as well. We'll be receiving their awards as well as citations at a later date. And I want to thank you. You have been an absolutely fabulous crowd. And to send you out, it's time to party. No? It's time to party. My name's Archibald Gordon. It's been a real pleasure, and I will now hand you over to the Ramdon Band. Good afternoon.
Ready to dance?
things that held us down. But now it looks like things are finally coming around. I know we've got a long, long way to go, and where we'll end up, I don't looks like things are finally coming around. I know we've got a long way to go, and where we'll end up, I don't know. But we won't let nothing hold us back. We're putting ourselves together, we're polishing up for that. If you've been held down before, I know you'll refuse to be held down anymore. Don't you let nothing stand in your way. I want y'all to listen to every word I say. Every word I say. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. Woo. Come on. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. We're gonna groove. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. Oh yeah. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the groove. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. Ain't no stopping us now. Take it down. We're on the groove. Take it down low, 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 low.
We're gonna ask all of the awardees just to come to the stage so we can have a beautiful group picture. Please come to the stage. All the awardees, as well as members of the executive. Please come to the stage.